is a serious topic. There's your little time to cut that out at the beginning. Hello!
Hello!
Welcome! I am Susie G.
And I am Bobby.
And we are Spiritual Insights with two crazy ladies and a microphone. Today we have kind of a serious topic we want to talk about. So we might snicker and giggle a little bit just because you got to put a little lightness into the serious topic so you can stomach the topic.
Yeah.
But we want to talk about the holiday season, bullying, mental health, and domestic violence, because those things can come into play a lot over the holiday season.
Yeah, it seems to get amplified even more so than other times of the year.
Exactly.
Just with the stress and the pressure that gets put on it.
Mm-hmm.
Not everyone deals with the holidays as well.
Right.
And some people feel that they are being judged because they celebrate the holidays different, and that can lead to tension
Oh,
too.
yeah.
So, yeah, very serious subject. So I don't know if you want to kind of start first with your bullying example, kind of, or how we want to walk into this.
That's a good
Yeah.
question. How do we want to walk into this? So, there are a lot of people that the holidays are trigger points for them. Okay, so they could have self-esteem issues that come up because maybe when they were younger, something happened around the holidays, and it triggers them, and they can turn from a nice person into a jerk in like a half a second. And then they can start to do things that are really unpleasant for those of us around them. So let's talk about bullying. So bullying, if you need a definition, is somebody picking on somebody else. And it's not funny. Even if you say you're just doing it out of fun, it's not funny. I personally have been the victim of bullying from members of my family, thinking it was funny. It's not funny.
If someone posts, now that we have social media, it's even worse because,
Right.
Back in the day, if we were bullied, it stayed local, but now
Right.
people put it on social media, and just because someone puts ... LOL,
It doesn't
mean
make
it's
it funny.
So, sorry.
It's not funny.
Because they're saying a sarcastic remark, but trying to soften it at the same time.
Right, that is passive-aggressive behavior.
Mm-hmm.
So if you are suffering from that, you're the victim, send you so much love and blessing on that. And if you're the one doing it, knock your shit off.
Yeah.
Sorry, I said a bad
No,
word.
that's
but,
okay.
but knock it off. It's not funny.
It's
It's
not
mean.
cool.
It's cruel.
It is.
And maybe you have some self-esteem issues you need to work through if you're doing that to somebody else. But you need to also know that you are loved. And maybe you don't feel it. Maybe they don't feel it.
And
Maybe that's
they
why
don't
they're
feel it, and
acting
they're
out.
bullied. And a lot of times when people don't know how to act because they feel left out, they feel that everybody is against them, that's how they strike out, and they become the bully because they don't want to be the victim, when it's not about being the victim. It's about just embracing, coming out, having open, honest conversations, and knowing that we're all here for each other.
Right.
And we don't need that bullying.
Exactly. And if you're the one being victimized, if you're the victim of the bullying, don't respond in anger. Just respond out of love as best you can. I'm sorry you feel that way. I don't find that funny. I find that very painful for me. But I still love you and I still care about you. Something like that.
Yeah, because sometimes you honestly may say something you think is funny, but it does offend another person.
Mm-hmm.
And they should have the right to speak up without feeling like they're going to get reprimanded or feel bullied in return.
Exactly.
So the U.S. is getting full of so many different diverse cultures and ethnic backgrounds, and I think it's awesome, but we just need to be considerate of each other.
Exactly.
And especially when you talk about bullying because of social media, think about how many kids and the damage that it can do if you post something out on social media that's harmful to a young kid.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And you think about, I grew up under the golden rule, and maybe that's forgotten, but the golden rule, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Or what's the other one? The platinum rule. I got to remember what the platinum rule is.
Treat others as you want to be treated. kind
No,
of the
treat
same
others
thing.
as they should be treated. I think it's more on that order. I don't remember that one. I might have to go look that one
Yeah.
up. But basically, if you don't want to be treated that way, don't treat other people that way. Treat people with respect and dignity and love and grace.
Yeah.
You know?
And sometimes that kind of leads into what we talked about mentioning was mental health, because sometimes I think people bully because they're going through mental health issues.
Yeah.
The holidays, all year can be stressful for people financially, relationship wise, but the holidays seem to amplify that with, all they do is show pictures of holiday gatherings and loved ones and people. And if you don't have a family, or if you're, if somebody maybe passed away on Christmas or New Year's, and it's just a really hard holiday, you feel alienated and left out, so you retaliate back,
Right.
which is not the way to handle it.
I know, exactly. And that first holiday when you've lost a loved one is extremely difficult. So people can have a lot of issues with mental health, or maybe they grew up, like I mentioned earlier, maybe they grew up in an abusive home, and the holidays were a trigger. Mom and dad always fought, except maybe for an hour on Christmas Day,
Exactly.
whatever it is.
Right.
Or if we didn't have the tree up at the right time, something happened. Or maybe you could never put a Christmas tree up because, dad would come home drunk and knock it over. I mean, there's so many different things.
Or maybe you have a different religion.
Right, yeah.
You don't quite celebrate Christmas, you celebrate Hanukkah instead.
Right.
Isn't Hanukkah right around this time?
Hanukkah's around this time, yeah.
I remember when I was growing up and I was in grade school or middle school, we had someone of a different religion who they did not celebrate Christmas, and it was really difficult. I remember during the Christmas season, because we put on those Christmas shows for the kids, and you go up and sing it, and his parents always had to pull him out of school during that time
because they don't celebrate Christmas.
Celebrate it. And that can make people feel alienated, and then in return they retaliate to some degree too.
Right, exactly. And then you think about how we're becoming more global. So we've got, Hanukkah, Christmas, Kwanzaa, the Yule. I can't think of all of the different holidays that come into play.
I know this is a serious subject, but when you say Kwanzaa, I think of, what was the comedy with the tree, the Kwanzaa tree?
I don't know.
With Elaine. Jerry Seinfeld.
Oh, Seinfeld!
What was that little tree that it wasn't a Kwanzaa tree. What did they have? They had the Festivus pole or something?
Maybe.
I don't know. We'd have to look up those episodes, so we said we'd have a little humor in there, but when you said that, it just reminded me.
Yeah, so people do celebrate different holidays during this time frame. So their holiday might not align with your holiday, and that's okay. And honestly, that's one of the reasons people say Happy Holidays instead of Merry Christmas. So if you're one of those hardcore Merry Christmas people, there's nothing wrong with that. But don't let somebody who says Happy Holidays to you be a trigger either, because they're being respectful to everybody when they say Happy Holidays. They're not picking on anybody just because they say Happy Holidays.
Exactly. Yep. Another reason that we wanted to bring up this subject is because things are hard around the holidays, and you kind of touched base on it just a little bit about talking about that abuse and abusive relationships. And I have a very good friend that I've gotten to know recently who's going through some difficult times. And she is actually looking for some advice, so gave permission to kind of share some of her story, but keeping it anonymous. It's not her going through the situation, but unfortunately it's her daughter going through a domestic abuse situation. Her daughter lives with her boyfriend. So one of the things that she wanted to do a post, and I said, let me kind of bring it to this podcast and reach out and see what people thought about this, because she wanted to talk about the history of her daughter, because they came from Puerto Rico. And her daughter had a very serious condition where they were going to perform brain surgery over in Puerto Rico. That would have actually just left her like a test subject. It would have, it would have been awful. It would not have cured her daughter's condition. It would have left her with permanent consequences, and as she says, it would have left her with almost 50% brain damage.
Oh my gosh.
So anyway, her and her husband and her daughter moved here to the States, and they've been here for quite some time, and her daughter is now in an abusive relationship, and they've been trying to rectify. So they had everybody over the other night, and things were going well until the boyfriend started hitting the daughter
In front of
the
them?
parents. Yes.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so y'all don't know my husband, but if somebody started hitting my children in front of my husband, he would drop them without a hesitation, because you don't mess with somebody's kids in front, especially in front of them.
The parents. And I don't know how, like, to what degree.
Oh my
But
gosh.
it was enough that the father got involved.
I was gonna
And
say.
then the police got called. And so then, all I know, I mean, it was a very long night for this person, and they went downtown to try to get a restraining order. I still hadn't heard back from the restraining order, but then got the information yesterday that the boyfriend filed a restraining order against the parents.
Because he felt victimized.
Yes.
Isn't that funny? He was victimizing their daughter, but he felt victimized
By
because the dad and the parents stepped in and said no.
And stood up for their daughter. And unfortunately, the daughter, and I don't know, but the daughter's not communicating with them now. So I don't know if it's voluntary or involuntarily.
Well, that's the hard thing.
Yeah.
So I know a lot of you don't know me. Bobby knows a lot of my history. I was a victim of domestic abuse. I was abused by a boyfriend when I was late teens, early 20s, and it really affected my self-esteem. And for me personally, it started with that mental abuse first. And it was those little digs at my self-esteem that just kind of wore me down, you know, picking me up for prom and telling me I looked like a slut and I had to go wash my face.
Oh my gosh.
I never told you that one, did
No, no, that's awful.
you dance you're too, how did he say it? You're too much. I don't know the word he used. When you dance, you laugh too loud. Stop singing. I don't want to hear you singing when I'm listening to the radio. And then it would get progressively worse from there, you know, like, you are so lucky I put up with you. Nobody else is going to put up with you.
That's like, what do they call that control thing?
Oh, yeah.
Like huge control.
Oh, yeah.
There's a name for it.
You'll think of it.
I'll think of it.
But it just kept going like that. Nobody would love you like I love you. You're so lucky I love you and put up with you. Nobody else is gonna put up with you. You're lucky to have me. You know, it was just that constant dig at your self-esteem.
Because it made them feel good.
Because it made them feel good,
Yeah.
exactly. And it just took pieces of my soul, basically, every time, you know, another piece and another piece and another piece, to the point where I felt like I deserved it. And I actually felt like I was lucky to have this SOB in my life.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, she could be going through the same thing. A lot of people that are involved in abuse like that have serious self-esteem issues, and they don't think they deserve to have anything
else
better.
Yeah.
They don't even know what better is.
Narcissistic was the
There you
I
go.
was thinking of narcissistic behavior.
Yeah, and I know for me, I went from that relationship to another bad relationship to a third bad relationship.
Oh, no.
Before I finally went, enough is enough, and I don't want any more of this in my life. And then I personally had to go get some help, you know,
Sure.
with mental health. I had to go get help, and I found a counselor, and it took some time, and we worked through it, and we figured out what was causing my issues to be attracted to that kind of person in the first place. And I remember after I got done with counseling and I kind of graduated, that's when I met my husband now. And anyone who knows my husband now knows that I am one spoiled princess.
He is amazing, yes, and she is a spoiled princess.
I
but
am.
She deserves it. So.
I am a spoiled princess. And we all deserve to be spoiled princesses.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
Yeah,
So,
but so here's the question. How do you help someone who's going through those issues and has self-esteem issues and is being abused to realize that they don't deserve that?
so this is where we're asking for your help, if you're watching this, to post with comments of what you think would help. You know, or if you've been through something similar. Because what the mom wanted to do was post out something on social media because she wants everyone to know what's going on, and that if her daughter's in trouble, this is the person responsible. But that could make matters worse.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if her daughter or the boyfriend are on social media, but you know, so what other tools in your toolbox that you might have that we're looking for suggestions, and so is this mom, of ways to handle this, because she's so, as she put it, she's just sick to her stomach, and she can't eat, she can't sleep, she's
Worried about her daughter.
worried about her daughter, and her daughter's not, you know, texting or answering the phone, so she's just sick to herself.
It's terrible. And the only thing I can think of, the thing that helped me a great deal, and my husband is fantastic at it, is just repeatedly telling me how wonderful I am, how awesome I am, how much he loves me, how sweet I am. I mean, just those positive affirmations from another person
That you should always
should always have to begin with.
Right.
But so a person going through that situation, the first time you say, "Oh my God, you're so awesome," they're going to be, "No." The second time they're going to say, "No." You know, it might take 20 times before it gets in, because they have a flippin' huge wall built up around them of all negative crap.
That's what they're used to hearing.
Because that's what they're
all the
used to
time.
hearing. So those positive things, they need to be repeated often.
Because they're not going to feel they're deserving at first.
Exactly.
And until they get out of that situation. So I think the question for her is like how to get this daughter out of that situation and get her the help she needs.
Mm-hmm.
With, you know, because I think about this over the years, and women, we ask why women stay in abusive relationships. It's because it's a comfort zone.
Yep.
And even though they treat them poorly, they feel they have someone who loves them, even though it's really a narcissistic type of love. It's
Right.
not love at all.
It's not love at all. But they know it, they're comfortable with it, and they think they deserve it.
And that's the worst part. Is when you said when the self-esteem is that low, that they think that's all they deserve. That is so. I just want to wrap my arms around them, hug them, and say, "No, you deserve so much more."
So much more. But now let's flip this table just a little bit.
Yeah.
So the abuser is also having self-esteem issues.
Yes.
For whatever reason. So I know that the boyfriend who started my whole adventure in this realm, he was abused.
I was just gonna say, a lot of times it comes from what they grew up with.
Yeah.
Yes.
He grew up with an abusive father, with severe punishments and belts and whippings and that kind of a thing. And so he just turned around and did it himself because he was used to it. So it's this terrible cycle.
It's a cycle, until you want to quit. Because if you don't know any better, you think that's okay. A lot of people grow up and they go the opposite way, and a lot of people grow up and they go the same way.
Exactly. It's a kind of depends on your personality, which way you go. And then think about the kids. So if your friend's daughter had children, I don't know if she does or not, but if she did have children and they're witnessing this, now they're getting used to that and thinking that could be normal.
That's okay. This is how a man treats a woman.
Right.
Or, and that cycle will just keep continuing.
It's like a hamster wheel. It's just a...
But like you said, he needs help too.
Yeah.
So I'm not trying to victimize either one of them.
Right.
They both need help.
They both need help.
So, I know we have services around here in Green Bay, but again, if anyone's watching this, like suggestions of where maybe they could go to counseling together, where neither of them feel threatened and feel it's a very safe, comforting environment to talk to people.
And bottom line, it comes down to mental health.
And it does. And I was just reading, and I printed this off quick before I came, that more than 1 in 5 adults in the U.S. live with a mental illness. That 1 in 5. That is
insane.
Just like you think about, you go down the road by your neighbors, and that's 1 in 5 houses. Not even if you have multiple people living there.
Exactly.
It's just like it's sad, and how and when it says 1 in 25 adults have a serious mental illness like bipolar disorder, or major depression, or schizophrenia, and how do we get, without putting a label on it and ostracizing some of these people, how do we help them?
Right.
Maybe he has some kind of major mental illness that the family doesn't know about. I don't know.
I don't know either.
But it's not doing either one good to be in that situation. And just like bullying, maybe the person doing the bullying has some kind of mental, there's always two sides of it, and and you just want to stop it before something serious or deadly happens.
Exactly.
You know?
So what do we do?
Yeah.
You know, I'm not a mental health professional, but I sure am great at giving hugs. And I sure am great at giving positive affirmations and you know, like I'm going to be somebody's best cheerleader in the stands going, you got this, you can do this, you're awesome. You know, maybe we need more people like that. I don't know. But whatever your talent is, whatever you're good at,
do it.
Do it.
Go out and share it with the world, because the world needs more love right now than anything else.
Call up your friend and check on them.
Yes.
You know, check on your neighbor. Make sure
Especially
they're
this time of
okay.
year. Because some people will just try to shut down, and so they don't want to say to someone else that they're having a hard time. They don't want to bring someone else down.
Yeah.
So they won't say anything. So, you know, like that post that I think I referred to it earlier. I don't remember what I said anymore.
That's okay.
But, you know, it's like, check on that friend. Check on that friend who's the silent friend. Check on the friend who's normally a talkative friend, and all of a sudden you don't hear from them.
Right.
You know, or the friend that thinks that they can handle it all, because sometimes they're just suffering in silence behind there because they don't want to say something and then bring you down.
Right. Exactly.
Which is not going to. You know, it's like, hey, if you're struggling, that's what friends are for.
Exactly.
Reach out.
Yeah, because you don't always know what's going on in somebody else's life, even if you are great friends.
Exactly. You know, we talk all the time, and we still learning things about each other
after 25 years or however long it's been.
I know, it's been awesome, but we still help each other through things that we're struggling with. Going, okay, I'm dealing with this, and I don't even know who else to turn to on it.
Right.
That would, you know, be honest with me and, you know, not say anything. You know, because one thing I think people worry about is if you say something, then that person's going to turn around and just talk, not maybe meanly or not meanly, because that's our nature.
But gossip.
One, you know, that's our nature, and then so you need to know that you've got that comfort zone with somebody in your life.
Yeah, even if it's just one person.
Exactly.
That you can talk to, and you know they're not going to go talk to everybody else.
Yeah.
So if you're not that person, I encourage you to become that person.
I have friends that will literally tell me, don't tell me if you don't want it to be repeated.
Right.
Because I can't keep a secret. And which makes it difficult sometimes. So, you know, those are the people who are like, I'll tell what I don't care gets passed around.
Right.
But sometimes you just have, be that one person if you can be for somebody that they, you know, it could be your partner, your spouse, just a best friend, a parent. It could be whoever, and you're, you know, just try to be that one person, because you know what, you may be that one person for them, but to them you're the whole world.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Give them the respect and the trust that you would like to have yourself. It goes back to that golden rule.
It does.
Yeah, so learn how to keep a confidence.
So we were kind of all over the board, but this all kind of fit in with mental health, whether it was bullying, abuse, mental health during the holidays, how to deal with it. Again, we would just love suggestions, because
we learn from each other.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know it all. Even if my husband says I do, I don't. Bobby, do you know it all?
I would love to say I do, but I don't, because I'll tell you what, once we know it all, we're probably not going to be here anymore, and I want to stay around a while.
Right,
So,
I'm having fun in this life.
I have a lot to learn. So.
Yeah, I have a lot to learn. I have an opportunity for growth.
I do, and I love all the opportunities that come my way. And some are good, some are not so good, but each one has a learning opportunity in it for growth.
I like the sweet ones better than the salty, but I'll take the salty as well.
Mix them together, they're not so bad.
Yeah, exactly. Mix a little sweet and salt
Popcorn
together.
and chocolate together.
Right? Oh, hello, Mama.
Yum.
Yeah.
We haven't had lunch yet, so this will make us hungry.
Yeah.
So, anyway, that's kind of all I really wanted to jump on and chat about. Do you have anything more?
Not really, just...
So I think for the only other thing is, like, again, this woman is looking to post on social media. So what are your thoughts? Seriously, if you're out there watching this, should she or shouldn't she post on social media?
And what advice do you have for her to help her daughter? Anything like that would be fantastic to share, because like I said, we learn from each other. So,
and if you have someone, a kid or anyone, anybody you know who's being bullied, you know, feel free to speak up on our site and how you're handling it. You know, maybe then someone else will read that and have advice for you.
Exactly. Share. We learn from each other.
So with that, I think for me, I want to wish everyone a happy holiday season, regardless of how you celebrate and your religion. And I kind kind of want the 12 days of Hanukkah. It's better than
One day
of
of Christmas.
Yeah, you get 12 days, but I'm just teasing a little. But I do. I mean, I know people who celebrate it, and I think it's an amazing holiday. And all the other ones that I'm not familiar with,
Right.
I would love to learn more about all of them.
I would too, actually. I think that would be fantastic. So I'm going to wish you a Merry Christmas, a Happy Hanukkah, a Happy Easter, a Happy Kwanzaa, a Happy 4th of July, a Happy Freedom Day, whatever. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your year.
Yes, and especially we probably won't talk to you till 2024.
2024!
Can't believe it. Make it an amazing year. Do some manifestation, set some positive affirmations and some goals, and just go in charging.
Yeah, be
Positive.
the light, be the love. Let your little freaky light shine.
There you go. This little light of mine.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine.
You got a better
This
voice.
little light of mine. I changed the melody. I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine. I'm
See?
gonna let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine.
There. So that's our message for the new year. Love and light and shine.
And if you don't know the melody of a song, who cares? Make it up.
Make it up. All right. We'll talk to you all later. We apologize it's been so long between videos. Last time we were outside. Now we're inside because it's winter.
It is winter.
So hopefully we'll still be inside next time. So hopefully it'll still be cool.
Yeah. Awesome.
Awesome.
Cool.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.